Welcome to the second half of the notable semi-final. This is the senior category, the years 13 to 17. I'd like to welcome all our judges back, and we see John for the first time, Dr. John Thompson. Lovely to have you here, John. And we're just going to get right on with it. I'd like to introduce our first contestant in the senior category. This is Skylar Murray. Skylar is 14 from Dunedin, and she started playing the violin when she was 3. Last year, she was a member of the NZSO National Youth Orchestra, and she also likes playing piano and singing. In her free time, she enjoys writing and listening to music, as well as playing netball. I was going to say noteball. Okay, so here we go with Skylar's performance of the Preludium from Bach's E major violin partita.
Hi, I'm Skylar, and today I'll be performing the Preludio from Bach's Partita No. 3 in E major.
much for your performance, Skylar. And I'm now going to hand over to John to make a few comments about that. Thank you, John.
Well, Skylar, I really enjoyed this performance. As a violinist, I know this is a piece that stays with you all your life, and I hope you will play it all your life. And you grow with it. It's something that Bach himself enjoyed playing. He played it on violin and organ. There are very few composers about whom we know so little as Bach. But we do know the year before he died in Leipzig, he performed this piece on organ. He'd made a transcription of it for his cantata, Wir danken dir Gott, which suggests, I think, that it's supposed to be full of joy, and he wanted to impress people with his skills. He chose this piece to show people he could still do it at the age of 64. So I was just thinking, I loved your performance, and you have a great future ahead of you, and I hope this piece stays with you forever, and that just like Bach, you're playing it right up to the fulfillment of your life. Well done.
That was lovely, John. Thank you so much. Bridget, would you like to say something?
Skylar, this was a very musical performance of what I imagine is a very challenging piece. And you're playing it so well for someone of your age. And I agree with everything John said. The only comment I'd have maybe to work on would be probably to try and bring out the contrasts even more. You had a lovely sense of phrasing. And I think with even more dynamic contrast, that phrasing would be even more obvious. But well done, Skylar. And lovely I look forward to seeing you in the National Youth Orchestra, I hope, later in the year.
And Lissa?
Well done, Skylar. That was a lovely performance. I really enjoyed your playing of the Bach, and I loved your shaping and your phrasing. I thought it was very clear, and I agree with what the other judges said as well. So, well done. That was really lovely.
And maybe something briefly from you too, Michael.
Yes, I absolutely agree with the other judges, and I found this to be a very passionate and engaging performance. A real pleasure to listen to.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to turn to our next contestant. This is Armin Lee, who's going to be playing another prelude, this time in the key of G major and by Rachmaninoff, so quite a different style. So Armin is 13 years old. She's already achieved her grade 8 piano with distinction, and she's now preparing for her ATCL piano diploma, recital diploma. She, other than classical music, she loves listening to indie pop, and she's learning to play this genre of music on the guitar just for fun. And she loves drawing realistically, just for fun. So let me now introduce Armin Lee. Thank you very much, Armin, for that performance. And I'm now going to hand over to the judges to make a few comments. Michael, we'll start with you this time.
Yes, I thought this was a gorgeous performance, very beautiful sound production. Listening to it many times, I really enjoyed the inner voices and how they were displayed. And actually the whole way that you are listening to the piano, which is quite unusual and a wonderful thing, really.
Thank you very much, Michael. And Lissa.
Absolutely. What a lovely performance, Anne, and absolutely beautiful. I have to agree with everything Michael said. The tune beautifully and clearly comes through, and just such a lovely mood. It just shone through your musicality. So such a lovely performance.
Many thanks, Lissa. Bridget.
And this was a lovely lyrical and expressive performance. And as the other judges have said, very mature playing and wonderful differentiation, I thought, between the left hand sort of ostinato and the right hand melody. So congratulations. Thank you, Armin.
Thank you so much, Bridget. John, over to you now.
Well, not much left for me to say. It was an enchanting performance. The colors you achieved on the piano, delightful. The flexibility of rhythm gave it a quality of breathing, flowing, which was just lovely. Well done.
Thank you very much, John. Now I'd like to introduce our next competitor. This is Miranda Rux. So Miranda is 17 years old. She's been learning the cello for some 10 years now. She's currently working towards her ABRSM diploma. And she says this has given her an opportunity to further her musical ability in a wide range of musical styles. She also enjoys playing with the Nelson Symphony Orchestra and other local ensemble groups in Nelson. Her other interests outside music is predominantly outdoors. On the weekends, she often goes tramping with her family and is also a member of the Nelson Search and Rescue. She loves maths, reading, writing and science, painting and riding her bike. So it sounds like a pretty well-rounded person. Let's join Miranda now as she plays William Walton's Passacaglia. you, Miranda. Bridget, would you like to say a few things?
Miranda, I thought this was an incredibly expressive and thoughtful performance of this work. It was very musically engaging, and you obviously got a wonderful technical basis for your playing. Very mature playing, so thank you very much. I enjoyed it immensely.
Michael, what would you like to say about this performance?
I very much enjoyed the beautiful sound production and the very dramatic musical playing, and it was an absolute pleasure to listen to you play.
Thank you so much, Michael. John, finally, your turn.
Yes, again, wonderful colors, lovely vibrato matching the mood of the piece. You seem to really have searched out the character, and I really enjoyed the mastery of the nimble effects you had, all going to serve the character of the music. Well done. And
we're actually now going to move on to our next performer. Thank you, judges, for those comments. This is Jennifer Jung, who's going to be playing harp for us, a piece called Children at Play by Marcel Grandjean. I think that was it. So Grandjean, I should get that right. So look, Jennifer has given us quite a long, interesting bio here, but I'm just going to read out some of the highlights. So she started harp about 7 years ago and describes it as one of the best things that she has picked up in her life. And she says, one of the favorite aspects about harp and performing is how it enables me to go into a world of my own and forget about my troubles and enjoy where the music leads me. Some of the highlights is she's had the opportunity to perform in Carnegie Hall, no less, in early 2018. She tells us a lovely story about while staying with her great aunt and uncle in New York, and how her great uncle was suffering from dementia. While I was practicing, he was able to recall events from his childhood that he had forgotten as a result of her playing. This hit home as it was my music that had allowed him to remember things from his past, and it was my music that had some healing effect on him. So I think we all know from personal experience the great healing effect of music on our lives. So we're now going to listen to Jennifer play for us. Thank you so much for that, Jennifer. And moving on to our judges' comments now. Michael, would you like to say something about Jennifer's performance?
Yes, absolutely. Enchanting performance, very strong, dramatic, musical. It was absolutely delightful and wonderful to listen to her play.
Thank you so much. Lissa, from you now, please.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. That was an absolutely lovely performance. You're obviously really into the music emotionally as well, which it comes across beautifully, and lovely effects and the different sounds that you use to create the different moods of the piece. So lovely playing.
Thank you, Lissa. John.
Well, this again was playing so full of character and color, the flexibility of rhythm. It really all added up, and it captured the programmatic meaning of the title, the children at play. You could just imagine an afternoon, perhaps, because of the title, the composer, I'm thinking of the Tuileries in Paris or something. Well done, you took me there to another place.
Lovely to hear that. Thank you, John. Bridget.
I agree with all the other judges' comments. Jennifer, your playing was superb, absolutely convincing musically, and a superb technique along with all those wonderful contrasts and character. Thank you very, very much.
And thank you, judges. Okay, we're moving on to our next competitor. This is Pei Xi, also known as Vivian Zhang, who is going to be playing one of Paganini's Caprices. This is number 13. So I've got quite a list of achievements from Pei Xi, but I won't read them all out, but needless to say, there are quite a few. But she is in year 8. She began to play the violin at the age of 7, and she's served as the deputy principal and principal violin in the school symphony orchestra back in China. So she's passed a number of exams and very well, and been selected for various schools, including the Auckland Philharmonic Orchestra summer school. So let's now listen to Pei Xi play Paganini's 13th Caprice. thank you so much, Vivian, for that that performance. And I'm going to go to John first of all to talk about that.
I enjoyed that a lot. We violinists refer to this caprice as the devil's laughter sometimes because of the chromatic thirds that we start the piece with. Could sound like laughter. And that reminds me that these pieces are often used as a sort of show-off piece, and they're really as characterful as anything Chopin wrote or Schumann, these miniatures that they were so brilliant at writing. And it's always so enjoyable when you can achieve that character. When I look at you, what I really love is your comfort with the instrument. There are no obstacles that are going to impede you in your progress. I often think a teacher there are limits to what can share with a student. But if we can remove obstacles that allows you to go forward to your potential, that's something a teacher can do. And obviously you've had some great teaching and you've worked hard. So you're just going to go forward terrifically. Well done.
Okay, on to you, Bridget, please. Thank you, John.
This was just such a fabulous performance. I'm sure it's an incredibly difficult work. And as John said, he's the expert violinist. I think you can just have as much fun as possible with this piece. I think these caprices are all about, you know, virtuosity and display, and you've got technique and bucket load. So just go to town with it. Thank you for a great performance.
Lissa, on to you, please.
Thank you very much for a lovely performance. And I have to say, I completely agree with what the other judges have said. You're obviously technically very assured, and that comes across beautifully. So now let's have even more sort of emotional connection with the music, just to add to it. But very well done. Absolutely lovely.
Thank you so much, Lissa. And Michael, up to you now.
Yes, very complex work, played with conviction, strong performance abilities, fine technique, filled with drama. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Michael. Okay, we're now moving on to our next competitor, and this is James Drury. James Drury started playing French horn when he was 7 years old. He also plays the violin, which he started at 5. James has played a variety of instruments ranging from the drum kit to the saxophone, and in his spare time he likes to read, play hockey, do swimming, go biking and cook. So we're now going to listen to James play a nocturno by Strauss. Now this was the father of Richard Strauss, whose name escapes me at the moment. But anyway, he was the father of Richard Strauss, and this is on French horn. You may enjoy the setting here. very much, James. And now I'd like to move to Bridget, please. Bridget, would you like to say something?
James, I wish I'd been sitting next to the fire along with your parent or family member there. It looked like such a beautiful setting. And you played so musically. It's wonderful to hear such a young person playing the French horn, a very demanding instrument, so well. I'd encourage you have fabulous breath control, lovely phrasing. Try singing through your instrument even more. I would encourage you to actually try singing that melody away from your horn, and then see if you can put that lyrical character back into it even more. But wonderful, wonderful playing. Thank you so much. And please keep playing, because you're going to be absolutely fantastic. We need more French horn players in New Zealand. Thank you.
I concur. John.
Well done. Beautiful phrasing, beautiful singing lines, great dynamic range. I'd certainly want to have you in my orchestra.
Same. Michael, could you say something, please?
Yes, I was not familiar with this work before, and I enjoyed it very much. A very musical performance, beautiful sound production, and I also enjoyed seeing your family member reading in the background. It gave it a real sense of house music. It was very pleasurable.
Thanks, Michael. Lissa.
Thank you, James. That was just a lovely performance, and I have to agree with the other judges. Beautiful sound, lovely awareness of the changes of the mood and the changes of the keys. So very musical. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lissa. We now move to our next performer. This is Lily Zoe, who's going to be playing Aufschwung by Schumann on the piano. And Lily is a 15-year-old pianist from Auckland. She's currently in year 11 and she's involved in bands, orchestras and chamber groups. She's achieved her ABRSM grade 8 with distinction in 2018 and took a year's break. But she's picked up the piano at the beginning again of this year, and we're all glad that she did. And she is, besides playing the piano, I thought this was an interesting comment. Besides playing the piano, I also learned percussion, which I find very fun and interesting. She said, I enjoy hitting stuff, ha ha ha. So let's see how Lily goes now. Thank you so much, Lily. And I think we'll go to Michael first of all. Would you like to say a few things about this performance?
Of course. Lily, that was a very strong performance, a fine connection to the instrument. I enjoyed it very much. As an advice, I think perhaps you could work on some more dynamic variety, especially thinking of piano, pianissimo, but I enjoyed your playing very, very much.
Thank you. Lissa. There we go.
There we are. Hi, Lily. Thank you very much for a lovely performance. I really loved the changes of mood that you achieved in that piece. It's a great choice of piece as well. Very enjoyable to listen to. And I just really enjoyed your connection with the music. So thank you very much.
That's one thing I'd quickly like to say too, that the choice of music can make quite a big difference. So really do make sure in the future that you choose pieces that you're very comfortable with and that you really love deeply. And I think that will really help in your performances. Can we go to Bridget now, please?
Lily, this was a wonderful musical performance played with incredible conviction, and I really got a real sense of you and the pieces as well as the musical lines. And I think perhaps you could aim for even more colour and contrast, perhaps with dynamics, but you're well on the way to becoming an absolutely outstanding pianist. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bridget. And John, over to you now.
Wonderful, wonderful rhythmic flexibility, control, and you really captured a sense of verve, heroic drama. Again, Schumann was so wonderful creating these miniatures, and I think you got it all in the few minutes that he gave you to do it. Well done.
Great, thank you. And we now come to our very last semi-finalist, what you've all been waiting for. So we are now going to listen to Gloria Lee playing the pipe organ. And Gloria is 16 years old, and she has her ATCL piano recital diploma in music and her grade 8 organ, which she passed with distinction as well. She's been playing piano for about 10 years and organ for about 3. She says, I enjoy and appreciate my engagement in music because it allows me to connect with a massive range of people around me, both other musicians and people in the audience, and helps me to further understand people's emotions and feelings. And besides music, she loves making art, drawing and painting, and spending quality time with friends. So let's finish the show, or finish this part of it, with Gloria playing Carillon Sorti by André Moulet on the pipe organ in the beautifully refurbished Nelson School of Music Auditorium. grand way to finish the semi-final senior category. So over to you, Bridget, please.
Gloria, thank you. This was a very dramatic and exciting performance. I mean, I know very little about the pipe organ, but it certainly sounded like a technically challenging piece, and I love the colours and contrasts that you were able to achieve on it. Thank you very much for a beautiful musical performance.
John, can you give us your comments, please?
And admirable control over the instrument, beautiful use of colors, all served for a great expressive purpose. Well done.
And Lissa? Lissa, can you hear me? Ask to unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
Gloria, that was an absolutely stunning performance, really enjoyable, and I know very little about the organ, but I'm so impressed with the way you can cope with different keyboards and also pedals, your feet having to play the notes as well, and the different stops that produce the different colors, all contributing to make the most beautiful and glorious sound. So thank you very much.
And Michael, finally to you.
Yes, Gloria, this was glorious, great explosion of colors, dynamics, and a great flexibility in your playing, which I find is so essential in playing the organ well.
Thank you so much, judges. Those comments have been just amazing to hear, and I've learnt so much from them as well. Now, this brings to the end the judges' contribution to this, and I thank you for all the work that you've done over the last few weeks and judging and listening to these performances. I hope you've had a lot of fun doing it. This ends your part of the show. I'm about to make to hand out some discretionary highly commended awards, and I will also be announcing the finalists at the end of that. So we will see you again. We'll see you all again in the finals, I think. I'm not sure about that. Okay. All right then. See you later, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you again later. And so we come to the last part of the semi-final show. This is the exciting bit where I get to announce the finalists. But before that, and I think you'll enjoy this, I'm also going to present some highly commended awards. These were for some of the musicians in both the junior and the senior category who gave wonderful performances and undoubtedly have much potential. I'm sure they will have a great deal of musical success throughout their lives. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a segment from each of their video performances, and this will hopefully whet your appetite to see the full performance, which I'll release over the next day or two. So we're going to start with Daniel Grant. Congratulations, Daniel. And he's going to play some Haydn for us on the piano. Many thanks for that vibrant performance, Daniel. We're now going to move to our next highly commended performer, and this is Sunny Chung, who's going to play also on the piano some lovely, light and cheerful Mendelssohn. Lovely playing there, Sonny. Thank you very much. And now we have a dramatic interpretation of Kabalevsky's violin concerto. This is played by Melody Sway and accompanied by Christine Cumming. And that was Melody. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Melody, for that performance. Now, moving on to the senior category, the first performer I have here is Mirabella Uphoff, who's going to play some Gershwin for us. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Mirabella. Next, we have some original jazz. This is by Jay Kang, who wrote this piece for piano and is performing it now for us. So let's go to Jay's performance. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Jay. And now we have another jazz performance, this time from James Dawes, who's going to play a saxophone for us. This is the well-known jazz standard, Autumn Leaves. feel all summery in the middle of a cold winter. Right, thank you so much, James, for that. And next we have from Oliver Spalter, our last highly commended award. We have Oliver playing the double bass, a particularly sensitive performance, I felt. Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt all of those performances. I think you're going to enjoy, everyone who's watching tonight, you're going to really enjoy listening to the full versions of those. And now, of course, the announcement of the 6 finalists. We have 3 in each category. And I'm going to start with the juniors in no particular order. We have Amy Tang, Janice Tsai, and Daniel Wang. And in the seniors, we have Gloria Lee, Lily Zhou, and Jennifer Zhang. So my hearty congratulations to all of you. You caused all of you in the semi-finals, it caused us, the judges, a lot of, I guess, agonizing decision making because it was very hard to choose out of such a fantastic bunch of players. But anyway, that's the final decision. So look, congratulations to all of the semi-finalists for getting this far. You know, you've done yourself proud, there's no doubt about it. But look, I also want to express my grateful thanks to each and every one of you, everyone who put in an entry for this competition. There is much to recommend in each of your performances, and I hope that you'll be able to build on the excellent skills and musicianship that you already possess. So that's it, and I hopefully you'll all join us for the grand finale, where our finalists will present another video performance, and we will be in the difficult position of coming up with first, second, and third places in each category. Now, at this stage, we don't have a confirmed date for the grand finale, but it's quite likely, very likely, to be on August the 15th. It just depends on a few factors. So as soon as I have confirmation of that, I will let you know. But in the meantime, thank you very much once again for watching, and stay well, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye.